Live from Maverick Stadium on the campus of the University of Texas at Arlington, it's International Bowl 2015, the Under-19 game featuring some of the best high school on their way to college football players in the United States taking part in a game against a all-star squad from Canada. Great to have you with us for perfect football conditions in February in the state of Texas. A gorgeous day. I'm Doug Anderson along with Greg Powers from Scout.com. And Greg, when you start talking about the amount of talent that's on the field, it's a who's who of players going to the next level for Team USA.
And one good thing, they already have their college signings out of the way so they can concentrate fully on this game. Over 30 players signing with P5 power teams going on to college playing in this game.
Let's take a look at our impact players for today's game. Offensively, Greg, we've got Tyler Petit, the tight end out of California, heading to USC. Devontre Strickland is a young man from right here in Texas, heading to Baylor to play for Art Briles. Defensively, Trevor Morris, a linebacker from New Jersey, heading to Rutgers, or from Pennsylvania, rather, heading to Rutgers. And Drake Greenlaw from Arkansas, who is heading to play for the Root Hogs. Great talent there offensively and defensively.
And I really like what Strickland brings to the table. He's a guy who's long, lean, and can be that deep ball threat, but it all starts up front, and I think if you're Team USA that you really want to hitch behind a very powerful and big offensive line.
The head coach for Team USA, a name familiar to Texas high school football fans, certainly Tom Westerberg, a four-time state champion at Allen High School. His team has only won 44 in a row at this point, the Allen Eagles, three-time state champs defending.
And we'll see if he can stretch that to 45 games in a row right here, and I think this is one that's just about as important as any that he's coached.
Of course, he is the coach of the quarterback who a lot of people were hoping would play in this game, Kyler Murray. Murray was originally committed to play in this ball game, but after signing with Texas A&M during National Signing Day, it became pretty obvious that he wasn't going to be able to participate this week. But we still have some great quarterbacks that we will see on the field today for Team USA, including our starter Ryan Boyle, a 6'2", 215-pounder from Urbandale, Iowa, who is going to play for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And I think that it's going to be very important that he establishes and gets into a rhythm early on in this game to kind of set the precedent for what the offense is going to do.
We also have behind him Riley Neal, a 6'5", 210-pounder from Yorktown, Indiana, who we'll see today. He's playing for Ball State come the fall. And then a bevy of running backs and receivers that we'll keep our eye on this afternoon, including A.J. Turner from Virginia heading to South Carolina, Jordan Stevenson, a young man from the Dallas area who's signed with Wisconsin, and Jalen Guyton is an interesting name to keep an eye on today as well. An Allen Eagle under head coach Tom Westerberg. He's committed to Notre Dame.
Jalen Guyton, a Scout.com 4-star, and Jordan Stevenson actually made the national top 100 list, and he's a runner who I think you really need to keep your eye on. He's a guy who's he's very electric, but he's also very powerful.
What about the defense for Team USA? They'll have their hands full against a pretty big Canadian squad this afternoon. They're led up front by Jacob Robinson and Drayton Kahlberg on the defensive line, and then Bobby McMillan at linebacker. Tell me something about this defense.
You know, I really think that you have to establish what you're going to be able to do up front in the trenches. And to win these big games, you have to be very good because some of the offenses just don't have time to gel. So if you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you're going to have a lot of success.
Team USA will kick off. It will be Team Canada to receive the ball first. The wind blowing strong out of the south here at Maverick Stadium.
Let's make some noise as we kick off.
Should be a good wind behind our kicker Seth Pugh for Team USA as he boots this one out of the end zone.
The ball goes out of the end zone.
And Team Canada will start on their own 25-yard line. Team Canada led by a pretty good quarterback in Brett Hunchak. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Canadian offense. The flag bearer, Caden Johnson, will start in the backfield. And Jacob Janke, Felix Laflamme, Colton Hunchak, and Marc-Antoine Piven will be the receivers this afternoon.
Doug, you did a great job there with some of these Canadian names right off the top.
It's going to be a little getting used to for some of those French-Canadian names this afternoon, but we'll do our best. Hunchak operates out of the shotgun. Two receivers to the bottom of the screen. He looks that way, throws, ball deflected. Pass was intended for Logan Fisher, A nice job of breaking it up for Team USA as they were able to knock that ball away.
And that was Trevor Morris with the PBU, and you can see right off the bat with his break on the ball what Rutgers liked in him and why they signed him to a scholarship.
Interesting town he hails from, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I know that's pretty common up in the Northeast to have some unusual town names, but that one, I think that one may take the cake.
I agree with that.
Single setback. Hunchak on second down, throws over the middle, incomplete, as the ball was intended for Colton Hunchak, trying to make a connection there.
Pretty interesting that Canada's coming out firing right off the bat.
Third down and 10. And so far, we've seen Team Canada throw the ball twice. Let's take a look at those defensive starters for Team USA. Robinson, Schreiner, Carlberg, and Osborne on the front four. And then that secondary outstanding with Houghton, Greenlaw, Austin, and Smith. 3 receivers on the right, 2 men on the left. Empty backfield on 3rd and 10. Hunchak under pressure, avoids 1 man, now runs. Penalty flag down in the backfield as Hunchak takes a lick at the 39-yard line and is dropped by Trevor Morris. He would have a first down if this flag is going against Team USA. Otherwise, more trouble for Team Canada.
Credit to Jacob Robinson there for getting the initial pressure to force him outside the pocket.
Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat, third down.
It is a holding penalty against Team Canada, so mark them back, and it's a long third down facing our friends to the north.
Pretty good lick Trevor Morris laid on the quarterback there, too. We'll see if he can shake the cobwebs off and bounce back right here for this big play.
Trevor Morris, he comes from that tradition of hard-hitting linebackers. The state of Pennsylvania has produced a ton of them in their time, and that's one of the reasons Penn State got the nickname Linebacker U. Pass over the middle. It's caught. Hunchak to Hunchak across the 20 to the 22-yard line, but that will be well shy of a first down, and we'll see Team Canada punt the ball away. Drake Greenlaw for Team USA making the stop. Now we get a chance to see some of the skilled players on offense for Team USA, including A.J. Turner, who will be returning the punt. Turner, a 5'10", 190-pound back from Clifton, Virginia, committed to or signed with South Carolina this past week. Ball goes rolling to midfield and will die at the 50. And that's where Team USA will take over as we have no score here at International Bowl 2015. Back to the action, and the first play goes nowhere for Team USA. A run by A.J. Turner up the middle, netted about a yard, so second down and 9 coming up as Team USA will go back to Turner. He heads left, finds running room across the 40, out of bounds near the 31-yard line.
And I have to say, Doug, right off the bat, I love the explosion that this kid is bringing to the table. You saw it on that run, able to get to the outside with pretty much easily.
Yeah, Turner, one of the faster players on the team, suffered a wrist injury his senior season, only played in 9 games, but ran for 743 yards.
Canada going with a traditional 4-man front here, too.
Out of the gun, screen, caught near sideline by Ben Glines. Glines not going to make much on that play. Back to the original line of scrimmage after he caught the pass from Boyle. Ben Glines, 6'2", from Cincinnati, Ohio, signed with Boston College. You take a look at the offensive starters for Team USA, and Ryan Boyle, who said he grew up dreaming of playing as an Iowa Hawkeye, got to fulfill that dream this past week as he signed with the Hawkeyes at National Signing Day. Throws a pick here, though, on this pass as Boyle threw it right into the hands of a Canadian defender.
And credit Daniel Nesbitt right there. Come in and put a lot of pressure on him, forcing the errant pass.
The pass was picked off by Cole Christensen for Team Canada, and just like that, Team Canada back with the football. No score between Team USA, Team Canada here in the International Bowl as we play with 9:35 remaining in the first quarter. Official timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. No score between Team Canada, Team USA from Arlington, Texas.
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This season, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
So at St. Vincent Sports Performance, whether we're talking about Olympic athletes or middle school and high school athletes, the foundation is the same. We want to remove dysfunction and then build upon their sport-specific movements to allow them to function at a very high level on and off the field.
No score between Team USA, Team Canada, International Bowl 2015. Doug Anderson, Greg Powers with you from Maverick Stadium on the campus of UT Arlington this afternoon. Happy you're with us on ESPN3 or wherever you may be watching as Team Canada on their second possession, trying to move up the middle of the field. Good for about 3 yards on the run.
Just want to point out here, Doug, Jared Maiden, actually a Team 18U cornerback, is now on the field for Team USA for playing with the older guys now.
Shows you just how advanced he is, and you can follow a lot of these players and just all of the action surrounding International Bowl 2015 by using the hashtag IB2015, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you may go for your social media. There is a place for you to talk about this game this afternoon. Pass incomplete as Team Canada trying to get something going with the passing game, but they've had a hard time doing it this afternoon. Liam Putt in at quarterback for Team Canada throws that one incomplete.
The pass was intended for Jacob Yonke. The incomplete.
Jacob Yonke was the intended receiver on the play, and that will send Team Canada to a long third down. 3rd and 6 as Putt stands in the gun. He's got 3 receivers bottom side, 1 man on top. Pocket collapses. Putt will run. Left side across the 25, out of bounds near the 31-yard line. Trying to reach for that first down marker, but came up just shy. It'll be 4th down, and we'll see if Team Canada wants to try and go for it here in the early going. Doesn't look that way.
He was well aware where the sticks were at, tried to get there, just didn't have enough juice to make it.
So Team USA's offense back on the field in a moment, but the defense, you have to give credit to them because they've kept Team Canada in their own zone on 2 possessions now and really haven't given up a bunch yardage-wise.
Special teams are always key in these international competitions as well.
Punt sails deep and will roll out of bounds past the 45-yard line, around the 44. Back to retrieve it for Team USA was Rashad Fenton, but he did not have a chance at the football. Take a look at some of the great alumni that have played in this game. We've got some first-round draft picks in the NFL coming up here in a couple of months. Jameis Winston, Todd Gurley, Malcolm Brown, and, of course, last year Samaje Perine set a record running the ball at this stadium now in the University of Oklahoma, where he's also starting to set some records.
Yeah, that was had at least one nice game that I can recall off the top for sure, right?
He had more than one, I think. He had quite a few.
Rolled out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Run up to the 47-yard line for Team USA. Set them up. 2nd down and a short 3. Pass from Boyle. Caught out of bounds on the far side of the field. 1st down for Tyler Petit. There's the big tight end, Petit, that we talked about before the game. heading to USC, and there's nothing petite about him, Greg, at 6'5", 230 pounds.
Big frame guy, and I want to point out that Team USA working with the wind in their favor on this possession. They need to put some points on the board in the first quarter, I think, is going to be key for them.
Super burst for Jordan Stevenson right up the middle. And Stevenson wearing his trademark golden spikes to go along with his Team USA uniform. He was known at South Oak Cliff High School here in Dallas for wearing those golden spikes and putting up some gaudy offensive numbers. This time Boyle comes to the near side for Jalen Guyton. And Guyton, the Notre Dame commitment, signed this past week, picks up a pass close to a first down.
No stranger to getting his hands on the football. 72 receptions for 1,770 yards this year.
Team USA quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Will hand off Stevenson. Stevenson angling for that first down. Goes out of bounds at the 32. That should be enough to move the chains. Talented running backs for Team USA. We saw A.J. Turner, now Jordan Stevenson. Between the two of them, you've got outstanding speed for Team USA. Jordan Stevenson with the handoff picks up 2 to the 30-yard line.
Stevenson had offers from all over the country. He actually made a commitment to Texas before switching his verbal to the Wisconsin Badgers, where he ultimately signed his letter of intent.
As a junior, ran for over 2,000 yards. And then what do you do when you come back as a senior? Well, you run for over 2,500. So pretty good years back-to-back for Stevenson.
Changed their program around there, too. They made 2 late playoff runs back-to-back years, and it kind of changed the makeup of what people think of South Oak Cliff football.
Stevenson caught the ball this time out of the backfield, but was immediately stopped by Adam Auclair. And Auclair gives Team USA a loss of 1.
I guarantee you running backs coach Chris Gilbert, who's the head coach at Lancaster High, wishes he had Jordan Stevenson or A.J. Turner in his program.
Either one would do fine, right? All right, we've got a long 3rd down and 9 for Team USA. Boyle throws it over the middle, looking for Petit. It was incomplete, bounced off a couple of Canadian defenders, and that will bring up 4th down.
Kind of in no man's land field position here. We'll see what they decide to dial up.
Really strong wind at the back of Team USA. But even with a big wind, that's a huge field goal for Seth Pugh. So we see the offense stay on the field. And Boyle in an empty backfield with 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left, will go for it on 4th down.
Got single coverage here at the bottom of your screen.
Safety's playing deep. Boyle takes it and runs, has room for the first down. Out of bounds around the 20-yard line, maybe down to the 19, and that's a first down on 4th and 9 for Team USA. Those are the legs of Ryan Boyle. He passed for almost 2,000 yards in his senior season, but he also ran for over 1,100 yards, so he definitely has the wheels.
Scored 19 touchdowns on the ground as well.
Handoff. Cutting inside. Past the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Good pickup for A.J. Turner that time, as Turner is checked back in for Team USA.
Boy, I have to tell you, on the edge right there, Grant Newsom going to Michigan. 6'7", 290 pounds. Man, he passes the eyeball test.
That's a favorite of our producer, Tom Montefiletto, this afternoon, as he coached him in high school.
Offense, number 23, 5-yard penalty, face second down.
Penalty against Team USA. Replay the down.
You have Newsom as one bookend and Dominique Hearn going to Oklahoma as the other guy on the other side at tackle. I wouldn't be afraid to run to the edge either direction.
Well, you start looking at the colleges, the tackles especially, 2 of them going to Miami. Then you've got Michigan and Oklahoma represented as well. Another penalty flag, false start against Team USA.
51 offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
One of my favorite stories on the offensive line, though, comes from the guard out of Midland, Texas, Johnny Wilson, number 76, we'll see today. Played at Midland Christian. He signed with Oklahoma State. Tell you a little bit about his story after this play as Boyle fires it, ball in the air, incomplete. He was trying to find Tyler Petit again, but the ball was broken up on the pass. Johnny Wilson's dad played high school football at Odessa Permian High School, a storied franchise out in West Texas, and was heading to college, but got hit by a drunk driver in an automobile accident, was never able to fulfill that college football dream, but his son, now going to Oklahoma State, able to do that.
And Mike Gundy got a really good one in Johnny Wilson, a guy who gets it on and off the field.
Handoff, near side, Turner in trouble. Now running from defenders left and right, going to the far side of the field. Inside the 20, spins, stays on his feet, and rambles down to the 15-yard line. What a run for A.J. Turner as he got into some trouble on the near side of the field, took it all the way over to the other side.
And boy, Ryan Boyle got a great block on Jeff Cotchins for Team Canada, the biggest guy on the field, and he laid him out.
There's your quarterback doing a little bit of the heavy lifting. That's good to see. A fourth down for Team USA, and a timeout on the field as the Team USA squad would like to talk things over. We'll take it with them. No score from Maverick Stadium.
Some people have to travel for work. Some people get to travel for work.
Free Wi-Fi! Pretty sweet! Hey, you look like you could use a pick-me-up. You want a macchiato? I think we can expense it.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard, make room for a little fun.
I'd love to get a round of golfing while we're out here. Did you bring your sticks?
Today's game is brought to you in part by Sports Authority, the official sporting good provider of USA Football, and also by Riddell, the official helmet and protective equipment partner of USA Football. Team USA knocking on the door here, but facing a fourth down deep in Team Canada territory. Trying to put the first points on the board this afternoon. It has been a low or no scoring affair with 4:53 left in the first quarter. Boyle stays in at quarterback. He's got one man in the backfield. That's Stevenson. Pressure on as the blitz was coming. Boyle avoids it. Looks downfield. Now throws toward the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Team USA on the board. Devontre Strickland with the catch. The 6'3" wide receiver from Waco, Texas, who's on his way to be a Baylor Bear.
And whoever keyed up the players to watch in the pregame was a genius, because that was Strickland right there working the field and trying to get open as his quarterback struggled to get away from the pressure.
That is our play of the game presented by Shock Doctor. Strickland had a tremendous high school career at Waco Midway High School. Now will play close to home for Art Briles and the Baylor Bears. Extra point from Seth Pugh is good. And with 4:42 remaining in the first quarter, we have a score. Team USA 7, Team Canada nothing.
We play for this. It's our country. It's our sport. Let them keep getting up. They gonna keep knocking me down. Let them get back out. Somebody to play, man. I die for my country. I die for all y'all. I die for my family. All the men that watch me. Let them go.
Team USA on top, 7-0. Doug Anderson with Greg Powers from Maverick Stadium at the University of Texas at Arlington. International Bowl 2015 has been a terrific week here in the North Texas area. Last weekend, AT&T Stadium, just in our far off view, not too far off actually, just about a mile or two down the road from where we are right now, hosted the Jamboree and all of the under 18, under 17, under 16 games as well. Big weekend there. Then the National Signing Day breakfast, where about 50 players signed their letters of intent at AT&T Stadium. So it's been a big celebration of football that caps off with this game today.
And couldn't really be in a better city for it. I mean, not only do you have AT&T Stadium, but you have a lot of great high school football programs around here as well. Arlington Bowie, Arlington Martin, and of course Arlington High.
Yeah, Arlington High under head coach Scott Peach does a nice job there. Bowie has been a powerhouse the last couple of years. And the Arlington ISD is actually the beneficiary of this football stadium that we're at today. UTA played football up until the late 80s and then discontinued their football program. They haven't had football here at this university in over 20 years, but the city of Arlington definitely takes full advantage of a very nice facility.
Right, and they have a lot of big games here, and they also can use this for playoffs as well.
Pugh with a boot into it, strong wind behind him, kicks it 5 yards deep, but Team Canada will take it out across the 20, the 25, and working his way across the 30-yard line up to the 31 for Team Canada, Caden Johnson. Johnson had the honor of holding the Canadian flag before the game started today as the singing of the Canadian national anthem took place. About the best field position that Team Canada's had this afternoon.
And I was just getting ready to make that point. So far, it seems like Team USA has been able to keep Canada pinned deep in their own territory, and they've been a beneficiary of starting off with great field positioning on both their drives.
Handoff through the middle, across the 40, 45, and churning to the 48-yard line. Logan Fisher, Team Canada, big play, their biggest of the afternoon, a first down as they approach midfield.
Changing up philosophy, too. They passed the ball on first down the first two possessions, and now they're dedicating it to the ground game.
It's Liam Putt that stays in at quarterback, 6'1", 185-pounder from Caledonia, Ontario. Single setback, and they will go back to Fisher as he works his way to midfield, picks up 2. Team USA's Trevor Morris makes the tackle big up front. Team USA, their defensive line goes 250, 270, 240, and 290.
Trevor Morris has already had his name called a few times in this game, so he's in the mix for a lot of plays early on.
2nd down and 8, Team Canada. 3 receivers to the top side. Putt looks that way, throws incomplete. He was trying to find Curtis Putz, but Putz couldn't get his hands on it, goes out of bounds.
Morris on the coverage there, and he's listed as a linebacker committed to Rutgers, and I'll be very interested to see what he actually plays when he gets to college. Will he be a linebacker, or is he fast enough to be a safety?
Certainly seems to run well, especially sideline to sideline.
He has the build of a safety, I think, more so than a linebacker.
3rd down. Team Canada in their red pants, white jerseys with red numerals and black helmets. Putt throws it complete, good for a first down, as Team Canada working it to the 41-yard line of Team USA. Piven with the catch for the Canadians.
Good route run right there, and really a great ball by Putt. Probably the best ball that I've seen Canada throw on the day.
Seeing Team Canada try and respond here after a scoring drive from Team USA. Touchdown pass by Ryan Boyle as he found Devontre Strickland in the end zone. Handoff through the middle. And once again, Fisher with the carry as he goes about 4, maybe 5 yards. We talked before the game about the offensive line for Team Canada. They are big up front, really almost across the board, 300-pounders, and they're able to move the pile pretty well against this United States defensive line.
And when you have a 6'1", 200-pound running back like Fisher, I mean, he's going to be able to pound it a little bit himself.
3 receivers stacked up to the right for Liam Putt. He looks that way, now throws, caught. Ball at the 30-yard line, reception by Jacob Yankee. And Yankee with that ball close to a first down. In fact, he will have the first down as they move the chains.
Much more confident drive, I think, right now for Team Canada.
And this is Putt, the second quarterback in the game for Team Canada. Game started with Brett Hunchak as the signal caller. Putt surveys the field, Keeps running, staying alive, throwing it, almost intercepted as he threw to the sideline. That ball was very nearly picked off by Xavier Colvin. A safe play for Team Canada almost turned into a disaster.
Number 43, Xavier Colvin, was defending for Team USA.
Colvin, an interesting story. His dad, Roosevelt Colvin, played at Purdue and then had a long career in the NFL. Hails from Indianapolis, Indiana, and will stay at home to go to school at Butler. Putt throws the fade, far sideline, incomplete. He was trying to find Piven on the reception.
Number 11, Peavine.
And it was great coverage there by Tyson Smith, who's going on to play his college ball at Michigan State, who's been no stranger to producing some great cornerbacks that have also been drafted into the NFL recently.
Smith covering for Team USA.
That'd be a long third down coming up for Team Canada. You're right, the Michigan State program, heck, they produce pros at just about every position, but defensive back certainly a strength.
If I'm a defensive back, I could think of a lot worse programs to go and play for.
Putt throws, fight for the ball, incomplete.
Pass intended for
As
Youngke.
once again he was trying to find Youngke on the reception, but ball was
Deontay
broken up.
Austin defending for
And
Team
you can
USA.
see that actually Deontay Austin was a guy who got his hand in there, and teams avoided him like the plague. He only had 5 pass breakups his senior season, and that's because no one wanted to pass to his side of the field.
Young man from Towson, Maryland, who will be taking his talents to Wake Forest this year. Seen a couple of guys committed or signed to Wake Forest playing in this game, and it's a good sign for the Demon Deacons. Putt on the run, heading to the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 25.
That's number 44, Bobby McMillan.
Bobby McMillan ran him out of bounds, the
USA.
young man from Napierville, Illinois. What a great story Bobby McMillan is, too. Greg, is his dad was a former player and now a coach. He coaches in the Arena League and is the coach of the team that is owned by Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of KISS, the LA KISS.
And that was I bet he gets to mix it up with some celebrities. I bet that's a pretty good lot.
A pretty good perk, isn't it? I can think of worse guys to hang out with for sure.
I bet they have a good time.
After the turnover on downs, Team USA with the ball, throwing the slant incomplete was Boyle. His intended receiver was Ben Glines. Glines played running back primarily in high school, rushed for over 1,200 yards last year and heads to Boston College in that position, but Team USA using him as a receiver more in today's game. Pass to Glines again, and it's incomplete.
Pass intended for Ben Glines.
Well, Ryan Boyle had the really nice pass to Strickland for the touchdown, but beyond that, haven't seen just a whole lot of great passes from him today.
He's got a plus arm. I just don't think he's quite gotten the rhythm with the receivers yet.
Third down and 10. Boyle has time to throw. Lets one fly. Here's Guyton open, and he overthrows him at the midfield mark.
And for the first time, you're going to see the field position kind of flipped here. So even though Canada didn't put any points on the board, they had a good drive to sustain it and be able to flip things around so they can start this next drive off with favorable positioning.
Number 10, Ryan Boyle.
Ryan Boyle will stay on the field to punt. We'll see if he can give Team USA a little bit of an advantage with the wind at his back. If he can hit a really big punt here. Colton Hunchak will return it for Team Canada. He stands at his own 30-yard line. Boyle runs. Thought about drawing the defense in a little bit. Now punts it. It's taken by Hunchak on a bounce. Hunchak looking for blocking up ahead. 35-yard line. Now the 40. And Colton Hunchak across the 40 to the 42 and dropped there. So Team USA playing defense, pitching a shutout so far with 1:02 left in the first quarter.
The icon of the game. The icon of competition. The icon of athleticism. The icon of fandom. The icon of the future. The future of football is now.
Intended for Peavine.
Peavine, the intended receiver on the first play for Team Canada, incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up. You take a look at the replay here and see he tried to bring that ball in at midfield but just skipped into him. Handoff to Fisher. Fisher is tackled in the backfield. No gain on the play as Team USA's defense stands tall against Logan Fisher.
No Seth Nernest there on the tackle, going to Iowa State to play his college ball.
In on the tackle for Team USA.
Liam Pudd stays in at quarterback for Team Canada.
Nernest had 65 solo tackles as a defensive lineman his senior year of high school. And no surprise he earned All-State honors for that.
Absolutely. 37 seconds left in the first quarter, and Team USA calls timeout.
Health can change in a minute. So CVS Health is changing healthcare, making it more accessible and affordable. With walk-in medical care, no appointments needed, and most insurance accepted. Minute Clinic, another innovation from CVS Health. Because health is everything.
Putt throws. The rush was on. He throws incomplete. Logan Fisher was the intended receiver, and now Team Canada facing 4th down. 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Team USA on top, 7-0.
Their defense has really been controlling the pace of this game, I would say. I mean, forcing 3 3-and-outs and only giving up 1 sustained drive. So, I mean, I think that Team USA has been doing what they want to do on the defensive side of the football.
A.J. Turner will receive the punt for Team USA. Volu with the punt, high, into the wind. This one will sail to the 30-yard line, take a Team USA bounce and down around the 35. So Team USA's got a chance here to add to a 7-point lead. Good field position. And Ryan Boyle back out on the field. Boyle, a young man who led his team to 2 state championships during his high school playing days at Urbandale, Iowa. And in a very 6 degrees of separation kind of turn of events, he's connected to the offensive coordinator for Team USA in a way I'll explain after this play. Boyle out of the gun. Throws out of the backfield. This is Stevenson staying on his feet across the 40, near the 41-yard line. Good pickup for Stevenson. So Team USA's offensive coordinator is Dick Olin, a prodigious coach of the spread offense in the state of Texas, coached at Baytown Lee and Louisville High School, and he has produced an Iowa quarterback in his coaching days. In fact, his stepson, Drew Tate, set all kinds of records at Baytown Lee High School before the Hawkeyes, and now he's getting to coach another Iowa quarterback in Ryan Boyle.
And Drew Tate, of course, one of the best Iowa Hawkeye quarterbacks in history.
You bet. Has some of the great moments in Iowa Hawkeye history.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
Back to start the second quarter from Maverick Stadium at UT Arlington in North Texas. Doug Anderson with Greg Powers. This is the International Bowl 2015. Team USA facing Team Canada. And as we begin the second quarter, Team USA on top, 7-0. Ryan Boyle has gone the distance at quarterback for Team USA. Led them on a scoring drive in the first quarter, capped off by a touchdown pass to Devontae Strickland. And now back to the action we go as Boyle operates out of that shotgun formation. Not a surprise if you know Coach Tom Westerberg, as Allen Eagles certainly are experts at the spread offense.
And they also like to work at a very fast pace, a quick pace, and Team USA's kind of adopted that same strategy here today.
Boyle toss it out of the backfield. Stevenson can't hold on to it. They'll say the pass had forward motion. So an incompletion.
I don't know that play was going anywhere anyway if he would have caught the ball.
There's a lot of Canadian defenders around it. Third down now, 3rd and 5 for Team USA. Boyle floats this one deep. Coming back for it and making the catch at the 30-yard line. Tremendous effort from Devontae Strickland. There is a penalty flag down at the point of the catch, but that was just a tremendous job by Strickland to come back for that football.
You saw his playmaking ability, and Baylor is no stranger to having some of these wide receivers who can go up and climb that ladder.
Pass interference is the call against Team Canada, so chalk that up as a huge play for Team USA.
That's a 32-yard gain for the United States and a first
Team
down.
USA picks up 32 yards on the pass play and first down as they work inside the 30-yard line. Team Canada, Boyle, under some pressure, now rolls out of it, looks downfield, takes to the sideline, and goes out of bounds at the 24.
Strickland starting to put together one of the more impressive stat lines of the game, already 48 yards and a touchdown.
He's made 2 big plays now in this game, the touchdown and the pass to pick up a first down just a moment ago.
Of course, plays for Waco Midway, which is a powerhouse in the central Texas part of the state. Also sent Ben Hicks on to SMU this year, and that was their quarterback. So Chad Morris at SMU getting a start with one of the more talented Lone Star State QBs.
And he was a well sought-after quarterback, had all kinds of schools looking at him, didn't he?
Yeah, he was committed to Houston at one time before, of course, all the coaching changes went down this year.
A.J. Turner for Team USA picks up a first down with a reception out of the backfield.
You can definitely tell who the running backs are. Stevenson with the gold shoes and Turner with the white shoes.
Boyle under pressure now rolls out, looks downfield, throws for the end zone, incomplete. A.J. Turner was in the area. There was a man in the end zone as well, but the ball skipped in.
It was Jalen Guyton in the end zone. It was kind of hard to tell who the pass was actually intended for right there.
Penalty against Team USA. Mark it back 10. So 1st and 20 for the boys in the red, white, and blue. Chance to go up by 2 scores if they can finish this drive. Boyle sees running room across the middle, takes off inside the 20, spins out of a tackle. And another, the 15, the 10, and Ryan Boyle running his way down to the 8-yard line. A huge pickup for Ryan Boyle, and what wheels the young man has.
Yeah, 25 yards there on the gain.
Broke about 3 tackles on the run.
That's a 7-yard gain.
Second down for Team USA, 2nd and 3 off of 1st and 20. Handoff Stevenson, and Stevenson will fall forward close to the first down. Might be about a yard shy.
Jordan Stevenson, the ball carrier.
Stevenson has a nose for the end zone. He scored 28 last year.
3rd down 1.
And did that against great competition as well.
Here he is again, this time wrapped up in the backfield by Team Canada. Back at the 10-yard line. Get in tight, and Team Canada starting to stiffen up on that defensive side. Plus, that's one thing that's maybe not a great thing about the spread offense. You can spread it out in the middle of the field and do just fine. But when you get down inside the red zone, a little bit harder to make things happen.
It doesn't hurt to have a guy like a Samaje Perine in this instance to be able to put in there when you're around the goal line situation.
Here's Boyle. He'll take off, loses the football, falls back on top of it at the 7-yard line. Ball was just knocked out of his hands. If he'd have held on to the ball, might have scored there because he had open running room. And that will bring up 4th down. Team USA will bring the field goal unit on.
24-yard attempt here, I believe.
Seth Pugh, the kicker for Team USA, wears the number 12. And we talked about Trevor Morris from King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Well, how about Seth Pugh from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina?
That's a good school name right there, isn't it?
That's an awesome name. Looks like I guess that was 4th down. Sorry about that, Greg. I was thinking that was 3rd down. They were going to 4th. That was 4th down. Team USA failed to convert. So Team Canada with the football. They pass it. And out of bounds is Colton Hunchak up at the 14-yard line.
Jared Maiden in on the tackle. The ball is spotted at the 14-yard line.
So Team USA went for it on 4th down. Didn't get it. That was the ball that popped loose. Ryan Boyle. And I don't know if you, in a low-scoring game like this, I don't know that you take points off the board like that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have put them up by 2 possessions, so it was definitely a daring play call.
Murphy, the ball carrier, number 91.
Westerberg, though, looking at his defense, a defense that really hasn't allowed much this afternoon, having some faith and confidence in them.
Xavier Colvin there with a good stop. Going to Butler, it's kind of hard to imagine that a school like Ball State or someone would let that kid get away.
You never know. Butler, of course, known more for a great basketball program than their football. Putt looks over the field, doesn't find anything. Now will slide to a 1st down at the 21-yard line. So Liam Putt, after the first possession of the game for Team Canada, in which Brett Hunchak was the quarterback, he has taken the rest of the snaps for Team Canada, done a pretty nice job of moving the ball. They just haven't been able to put any points on the board.
I really like the energy he's brought to the team, too, and brought onto the field when he stepped on it. I think that that's been kind of the difference between him and the other quarterback that started the game to this point.
Putt fires one over the middle. This one's incomplete. Had a man running down the seam, but it was a pass that was not close enough, as Felix Laflamme was down deep for Team Canada. And that will bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Canadians, who have enjoyed a wonderful week of practice here in the North Texas area.
Some of us Texans might have thought it was cold throughout the middle parts of the week, but I'm willing to bet that Team Canada thought that the weather was pretty nice.
I think they thought it was just right. They're probably thinking this is a heat wave today up in the 60s. Putt tries to throw this one away. He does. Out of bounds, and we'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Give us a chance to say Drayton Carlberg's name right there. Got a little bit of pressure on the quarterback there, and he's going to play for the Oregon Ducks, who, of course, were defeated by the Ohio State Buckeyes in the national championship game.
Guy from Minneapolis, Minnesota, making his way out to the Pacific Northwest.
Actually has the look of an offensive tackle as well. I mean, I guess he's maybe like a little bit like Eric Armstead, could possibly play on either side of the football once he gets up to Oregon.
Putt looks downfield, now throws it, intercepted. Team USA with it at the 15, the 10, and down to the 5-yard line. Mario Osborne from Daphne, Alabama, picks off the pass from Liam Putt and puts Team USA in great position.
And as we're looking back on this game, that could be one of the biggest plays that we'll see.
Osborne signed with Louisiana Lafayette. He'll play for the Ragin' Cajuns. And he gives Team USA a golden scoring opportunity.
Alabama produces a lot of talent. For a kid like that to be able to escape its home state borders to go to Louisiana Lafayette, that's quite a steal.
It's a program that's starting to put really a nice streak of bowl-winning seasons together. Pass thrown to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Riley Neal with his first pass of the afternoon hooks up with Ben Glines for a TD.
His QBR is going to be pretty nice.
Riley Neal is the 6'5", 210-pound quarterback from Yorktown, Indiana. Barely had a chance to introduce him as he throws his first pass to the end zone, and it's a touchdown as he hooks up with Ben Glines, the young man from Cincinnati. Pugh on to attempt the extra point. Kick is on the way, and it's good.
And your kick is good. Your new score, Team USA.
We talked about Mario Osborne. He was part of the National Signing Day breakfast this past week. Let's take a look at his signing day festivities. Mario Osborne, the young man out of Daphne, Alabama, who's on his way to Louisiana Lafayette.
Mario Andre Osborne Jr., defensive end, University of Louisiana Lafayette. I'm a leader on the field. I feel like I'm very explosive. I make big plays. I'm consistent. And I'm very aggressive. I like to get after the play. I like to chase the ball. It's an American sport, and I'm an American boy, so I mean, it's like natural to love football, and I'm very competitive, so I like to compete.
Mario Osborne likes having his hands on the football. He got his hands on the football to pick off that pass for Team USA and set them up for their second score of the day. Team USA leads 14-0 with 7:53 left in the first half. These defenders for Team USA, you start thinking about the MVP of the game, and it might be a team award today given to the defense if they continue to play this way.
Right, and I think that they've really kind of set the standard right now. They haven't allowed really too many first downs even.
No. Seth Pugh, we'll see how he kicks into the wind. This one from the 35-yard line. It's a short hopper that will be taken at the 15-yard line. Far sideline of the field across the 30 to the 31. Team USA, or Team Canada rather, that's Caden Johnson for the Canadians. And once again, decent field position for Team Canada. We'll see who they have at quarterback this time around. Liam Putt has been the primary signal caller today. Want to remind you that our sponsors for today's game include St. Vincent Sports Performance, the official sports medicine partner of the U.S. national team, and CVS Minute Clinic, the official sports physical provider of USA football. Handoff across the 30 up to the 33-yard line as Team Canada hands the ball off to their running back, Colton Hunchak. He was coming around on the end.
Thomas Toki, Washington State signing, was able to clean that play up and keep it to a minimal gain.
Toki, a young man who hails from Mountain View, California, had 3 sacks in his senior campaign. Handoff. Cutting up the middle, Logan Fisher. Actually make that Liam Murphy, new ball carrier, into the game for Team Canada. And Murphy with a little bit of a burst to the 35-yard line. Short, or medium range, rather, third down for Team Canada now. Liam Putt looks over the field, throws. It's caught short of a first down. Team Canada trying to work the middle of the field, short yardage, and Jacob Yankee with the catch, but he's shy of that first down, and that will bring on the punting unit for Team Canada.
It's an integral moment, I think, in this game right now. If Team USA is able to put some more points on the board and, of course, gets possession of the football after the half.
Rashad Fenton will receive the punt for Team USA. Young man who, like A.J. Turner, is committed to South Carolina, signed with them this week.
Fenton's been doing a great job on defense, much like offensive linemen. Corners just don't get their name called as often if they're able to lock their man down.
High punt, rolls out of bounds. Short kick for Team Canada, and that will give good field position to Team USA up at the 43-yard line. 5:51 remaining in this first half. And head coach Tom Westerberg of Team USA has Riley Neal in at quarterback. This will be his second possession. His first possession was one play, a pass that was caught by Ben Glides for a touchdown. Neal drops back, now looks downfield, running across the 40, slings it, incomplete, as he was looking downfield for Tyler Petit. Second down and 10 coming up. Riley Neal, you talk about a young man who's headed to Ball State and following a family tradition. Both his father and his uncle played for Ball State.
It was one of the more interesting notes that I read coming into this game. I thought that was a great honor to follow his father and his grandfather on at Ball State.
Neal dumps it out of the backfield. Good moves up to the 45 to 50 and brought down in Team Canada territory. That's Ronnie Frick. Frick had the honors today of carrying the United States flag for Team USA, and I don't think you could find a more deserving candidate for that honor, given that he is headed to the Army at West Point for his college career.
And just because we may not get to say it again, Dion Eakins down the field making that block, one of the bigger guys on the team with one of my favorite honors, was Mr. Pancake.
If you're an offensive lineman, that's probably as much as you can aspire to, right?
Yep.
Mr. Pancake, he does a nice job downfield. Ronnie Frick stays in the ball game at running back for Team USA. Neal throws, far side. Nice catch and a move to pick up a first down for Vinny Papali. There's our young man from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Vinny Papali, 6'1", 190-pounder who will play at the University of Delaware.
And I bet he's happy to be back on the field. Suffered a broken clavicle this year and getting his hands on the football again finally.
Fake handoff. Neal looks downfield, has time. Now sets up, throws. Ball is caught by Petit at the 15-yard line. First down, Team USA. And Tyler Petit, the ball hasn't always been in a position for him this afternoon, but he's been open a lot today. He's able to really create separation against these defenders for Team Canada.
And you don't get a scholarship offer from a team like USC without having a great skill set. So, I mean, they're going after some of the top players in the country and actually had the #1 signing class in America this year. And Petit, of course, a member of that signing class.
Trojans trying to right the ship after some bumpy years, but always a perennial program to be reckoned with.
Coming off the sanctions, I think if you were looking at USC, if you were a kid in California or on the West Coast that was considering that school, you had to like your opportunity to go in there and get some early playing time.
Adam O'Clair was the injured member of Team Canada. He walks off under his own power. And that will bring up first down for Team USA. Ball spotted on the Canada 15. Jordan Stevenson in the backfield with Riley Neal. Neal looks downfield, in trouble, now throws, incomplete. The rush was on, pressure was there, but Riley Neal, one thing you've seen from him on this drive is that he's a young man who doesn't seem to get rattled by anything.
He likes to get outside the pocket, too. He keeps his eyes downfield, and he seems to be very aware of where his receivers are on it.
And a great frame at 610 pounds. You can tell he'll put on a little weight when he gets into the weight room, starts adding some mass, but he's got the frame and the arm strength definitely to go a long way in college football.
Rushed for over 1,300 yards this year, so he does have some mobility.
False start penalty against Team USA.
And really it's been a clean game from a penalty standpoint. I mean, you really expect to see more yellow on the field. And these type of things where they're not able to always get on the same page with one another and have limited practice reps.
Now, things have been pretty smooth so far. And Team USA certainly has performed well offensively. 14 points here in the first half to lead 14-0. Big rush. Neal able to avoid it. Now spins and goes down. 23-yard line, but penalty flags on the play.
We're going to see a holding call on Barb Milo, Semper Fidelis All-American, who had 70 pancakes and allowed 0 sacks his senior year.
That's another penalty against Team USA. Repeat second down, but as you mentioned, 70 pancakes, 0 sacks. That's like a hitter batting 1,000 for a season. I mean, that's about as good as you can ask for.
And really, the offensive front for Team USA was a little bit overmatched on that play. You could see that Team Canada was bringing the house on that particular snap.
So 2nd and a mile now for Team USA. And another penalty flag.
I may have put the yellow flag jinx on.
Spoke too soon, Greg. 5-yard penalty, false start. So 2nd down and 30 now for Team USA.
And then 2nd down and 30.
Neal is the quarterback. Stevenson in the backfield. You got 2 receivers split either way. Canada wants to bring the pressure. Now they look deep. Neal throwing, ball in the air, caught down at the 2-yard line. What a catch for Team USA, and that's Jalen Guyton, the Notre Dame signee, making his presence known this afternoon.
And like we said, he's no stranger to getting receptions. Had 72 receptions this year. Of course, Kyler Murray, the highly touted quarterback, was the guy who was throwing him the football. Signed with Texas A&M.
And just like Kyler Murray, Jalen Guyton is a 3-time state champion in Texas high school football. Those two with the Allen Eagles combining to win 44 games in a row. Handoff Stevenson stopped at the 5-yard line. Tremendous player. Jalen Guyton, had a chance to see him play probably 10 times in his high school football career, and every time was a solid player.
And, of course, his coach, Tom Westerberg, is the head coach for Team USA. Had over 20 players inkle on Wednesday.
Neal throws, caught, and it's Guyton again for the touchdown. Riley Neal with his 2nd touchdown pass of the afternoon. This one to Jalen Guyton, and Team USA takes a 20-0 lead.
That'll bring on Seth Pugh.
Kind of keeping it with Allen. Allen finished with the #1 rated high school team in America this year.
And certainly it's hard to argue with a team that went undefeated for the 3rd consecutive year they won a state championship. And on top of that, they play, as we watched the kick from Pugh, which sails through the uprights and good, they play in the highest level of football in the state of Texas.
And played some of the greatest teams, too. Of course, DeSoto High School, one of the other top-ranked teams from the state of Texas.
21-0 our score. 2:59 left in this first half from UT Arlington.
This is where games are played, where friendships are forged, where kids come to have fun. This is where coaches teach fundamentals, where respect is both learned and earned, and memories last long after the clock reaches 0. This is USA football.
$21-0 is our score. Team USA putting it on Team Canada here at International Bowl 2015. Doug Anderson, Greg Powers with you from Maverick Stadium at UT Arlington in the North Texas area.
Early on, I think we've seen this Team USA start to establish themselves with the better playmakers, especially on the edge, when you have guys like Devontre Strickland and Jalen Guyton out there to throw the ball up to, and then, of course, Tyler Petit going to USC as well.
Yeah, it's a bevy of riches for Team USA at the skill positions with guys like that. And then we haven't even really touched on a couple of other guys that'll be in this game at some point, you would imagine. Austin Maloney, the Florida International signee, and Ben Glines, who has had a couple of nice plays, including a touchdown today, but haven't really touched on him much either, heading to Boston College.
Kind of understand why college football defenses are having so many struggles right now and why the offenses are so productive.
It's hard to keep up with some of the changing styles and really the emphasis, especially when you think about how the offensive players get the chance to play all year long in 7-on-7 competitions, different things like that. There really doesn't exist something like that for defensive players.
Right, and they do get to play on. They do get to play defense. Defensive backs, safeties get a lot of reps in 7-on-7, and some of those competitions, but the interior linemen just don't have, and the linebackers just don't get the same opportunity.
A sack for Team USA as the tackle was made by Thomas Toki. Toki is 6'1", 287-pounder from Mountain View, California. So Team Canada has had their struggles offensively today. Liam Putt stays in at quarterback for the Canadians. 3 receivers line up to his left, 1 man on his right. He looks right, throws that way, and over the head of his intended target on the play as he was looking downfield for Daniel Legal.
Once again, credit to the Team USA defensive back over there. Had blanket coverage. There just wasn't a window of opportunity for him to fit that ball in.
The incompletion will bring up 3rd down and 19.
3rd down, 19 for Team Canada. Team USA trying to even up the week-long series of games at 3 apiece. This is the 6th and final game of International Bowl 2015. Penalty flag thrown at the end of that pass. The ball was intended for Rick Lamogin, and it was knocked away for Team USA by Khalil Houghton, but Houghton might get flagged with a penalty on this play.
I think he is going to get the penalty here for pass interference. Kind of bumped into the receiver, and of course Houghton going on to play his college football at Oklahoma, and also the teammate of Devontre Strickland on the other side of the ball.
That's right.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Got some current teammates and future teammates playing with each other today. You've got guys that came from that South Oak Cliff program that we've talked about, like Jordan Stevenson, who also has Jameel Johnson on this team with him, and Prentice McKinney. Then you've got guys that will be like Stevenson, who will eventually play at Wisconsin, meeting David Moorman out of Northville, Michigan, who's also committed and signed with Wisconsin, an offensive lineman. So I'm sure friendships being formed this week by guys that will be going to the same school.
Yeah, I like that dynamic. You have Prentice McKinney and Khalil Houghton both going to Oklahoma, and they probably got to do a little work early on to kind of get a camaraderie together in that defensive backfield.
Absolutely. And really, when you look at the defensive backfield for Team USA, it's almost embarrassing how talented this secondary is. You've talked about Tyson Smith, the Michigan State signee. Dre Greenlaw's going to Arkansas. Houghton and McKinney, Oklahoma. Jameel Johnson to Texas Tech. And Deontay Austin heading to Wake Forest.
And Jameel Johnson had one of the more interesting recruitments. 4 different colleges took his commitment. He eventually signed with Texas Tech.
Great story there, too, as his high school coach, Emmett Jones, took a job on Cliff Kingsbury's staff at Texas Tech right before signing day. Basically, the week before signing day, Emmett Jones left South Oak Cliff for Texas Tech, and 2 of his players flipped where they were going and came to Texas Tech with him, including Jameel Johnson.
And Jameel Johnson worked in an official visit right before the dead period and decided he saw enough in Lubbock that he wanted to continue his career there.
Putt trying to pick up a 1st down, sneaking it to the 45-yard line.
Did a good job, I think, to retain possession here. I believe there was a little bit of a bobble. The ball almost popped out.
That dive by Putt should be good enough for a 1st down.
Kind of resetting it back to Jameel Johnson. He was committed to Texas, North Carolina, and Oklahoma before ultimately deciding on the Red Raiders program.
He traveled around a bit, but he finally settled in, and that's a good thing. 50 seconds left in this 1st half. Team USA on top of Team Canada.
Somewhere along the way, we all fell in love with the game of football, and there's probably reasons why, and it's probably wise to go back and think about why you loved it so much, and make sure that you keep the fun element in it. You know, if it's just only about winning a championship at the 8, 9, 10-year-old level, and you're only going to play certain guys and all that kind of thing. It's probably going to be tough for everybody really to get to the point where they really love the game. And so I'm not saying don't try to win or anything like that, but just be mindful that all these kids develop at different times in their lives, and if you kill the love for the game that they might be special at when they're little, you never know what you might have had.
Under a minute remaining in the first half. Team USA 21-0 on top of Team Canada. Liam Putt lets one go, incomplete. Miscommunication on that play as he threw to the outside, and his receiver had cut in on the route. He was looking for Peavine on the play.
Ball returns to the 45-yard line. Second down, 10.
Second down and 10. Team Canada scoreless so far. We talked about this series. This is the 6th game. Team Canada's different age groups and their different football clubs last Saturday really showed up and represented well against Team USA at AT&T Stadium. Won their share of the games that day as Putt rolls out right side, goes out of bounds.
And I have to say, pointing out the differences between the squads, most of the time Team Canada has the size advantage on Team USA. But I have to tell you, coming into this game, I think it's very equal, even though the Canadian guys are a bit older than some of the Team USA guys.
Yeah, based on the way that Canada's school system works, some of these guys are already on their college level teams. Only about a year separating the teams for the most part. .38 seconds left in the first half. Pass is caught, close to a first down, but just shy. Colton Hunchak.
Number 44, Bobby McMillan.
McMillan made the tackle on the play. And Team Canada will call a timeout. They want to stop the clock. 30 seconds left in the first half as they try to put points on the board before heading to the halftime locker room.
At the NFL and at USA Football, we care. We care about your kids. We share the same concerns. We're on your team. Heads Up Football is an incredible program, and when you join with USA Football and you see what they're doing and your league is affiliated, that's the stamp of approval that you're going to have a coach that knows what he's doing, a kid who's learning the proper technique, equipment that fits, so that your child is truly playing a better, safer game.
Team Canada with their last-ditch effort to try and avoid a first-half shutout here at Maverick Stadium. They have the ball.
And the wind.
Fourth down, going for it, needing 3. Putt throws. Ball is batted down. And Team USA holds on downs. They will get the ball back with 25 seconds left in this first half.
I believe that was big 6'4", 290-pound West Virginia-bound Alex Schreiner who was able to bat that ball down at the line of scrimmage.
Schreiner, a young man out of Oviedo, Florida, heading to West Virginia. You mentioned it, big at 6'4", 290 pounds. And that gives Team USA one more shot. Neal's pass is caught. Petit goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line, stopping the clock with 20 seconds left.
West Virginia, of course, playing its college football in the Big 12 now, had one of the top signing classes in the Big 12 this year. A lot of those guys are from Florida.
There's 3 states that are really known for producing high school football talent, as inside the 40-yard line, going out of bounds, is Ben Glines out of Cincinnati. You've got Florida, Texas, and California, who really are factories for high school football players. And if you're in West Virginia, I guess Florida is your best option.
Yeah, they can go into Ohio, they can go into Florida, but just the state of West Virginia doesn't produce a high amount of actual recruits.
Riley Neal hit and dropped, throws the ball incomplete as he was taken down by Sean Robinson for Team Canada.
The incompletion
all things being considered, I really have liked what I've seen from Riley Neal this afternoon. He's led Team USA on 2 scoring drives. He's got the look of a big-time quarterback, and his pocket presence is great.
And what you're looking for out of these guys is to have more good plays versus negative plays, and I think both quarterbacks for Team USA have done a good job of that today.
Neal throws for the end zone, high floater, jump ball. It's caught by Team USA for a touchdown, but there's a penalty flag down.
He was basically caught that ball in triple coverage. I have a hard time believing that could go against the offense.
That was Vinny Papali who had the catch.
That was a tremendous catch.
We'll see what the officials rule on the play.
Oh. Negating a huge play right there, offensive pass interference.
And they call the interference on Papali. So a tough break against the young man out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, as he caught an amazing catch for a touchdown, but gets called for the pass interference penalty.
Looks like he had some of that speed that made his father so famous.
Yeah, Vince Papali, well-known. Team USA calls timeout. The scoreboard shows no time left on the clock. So this should be the final play of the half.
With the stiff wind right in their face, I have a hard time believing they're able to throw the Hail Mary here. Maybe they'll try to dial up a trick play.
And let's take a look at the signing day activities for Vinny Papali.
My name is Vinny Papali. I play wide receiver and I'll be attending the University of Delaware. I chose Delaware because of their great tradition of football and their passion for the game, and also because of their great academics. As a player, I consider myself tough, never give up. Every play, I'll play it like it's my last, and just always moving at 100 miles an hour. My goals in college is to just go out, play early hopefully, and maybe set some records, and if I get the chance to play at the next level, then I hope that can happen.
Final play of the half, incomplete pass, and that will send us to the break. It's been a great half of football for Team USA as they lead Team Canada 21-0. International Bowl 2015 in our halftime report comes your way next.
USA Football was created to lead the development of the sport, to provide leadership to a fragmented landscape and take responsibility to strengthen the game's foundation. Since 2002, when the NFL and the NFL Players Association established USA Football as an independent nonprofit, we've united the sport. We made sure that everyone, from players and coaches to parents and officials, have access to the best resources. We offer dynamic player camps and exciting digital tools centered on football fundamentals so players and coaches get the best education and training. And as the sport's national governing body, we establish national teams. And because we believe every child with an interest in tackle or flag should be able to play, we have distributed more than $5 million in equipment, almost $500,000 to build quality fields. Simply put, USA Football has set new standards for excellence in teaching, organizing, and advancing youth football.
So what's next? What's the next 10 years look like? Heads Up Football is a new approach the NFL and USA Football are embarking on to change the culture of this sport. It's America's favorite sport. We need to be the guardians of the game. We need to protect this. Heads Up Tackling is addressing that issue.
USA Football, thank goodness for it. This is extremely important.
Never has there been a greater responsibility for coaches to get it right, to be educated, to be consistent, to get the right training, and to teach the right technique.
USA Football is committed to teaching every coach how to train their players to become better tacklers.
First, we're going to teach you how to properly tackle. Get the head out of the tackle. Then we're going to work with you to reduce helmet contacts in practices, called levels of contact. These two things are married together.
Heads Up Tackling is the best way for a young player to be a really good tackler.
Heads Up Football is an exciting program. It's going to help the football game in great ways. We want to make sure and support it.
All coaches have to face this responsibility because ultimately they're telling these young players what is right and what is wrong.
This is the first time that anyone's ever taken a comprehensive approach to this complex problem. It starts with online coaching education program, the only nationally accredited program that's available for youth football today. But the next step is a checks and balance. Now we get the heads-up safety director, someone that USA Football will personally train, that will be there at every single club across the country to ensure that they are teaching proper tackling, that they're using the proper practice plans, that they're making sure they're creating a better, safer environment for every one of the players that are participating. So now parents can be confident that they have a heads-up football director as well as coaches that are properly trained. Now they're going to see and they're going to learn with the coaches. This is how you properly fit equipment. This is how you properly teach tackling. This is concussion management. We're going to give the confidence to the parents and ultimately the players that now there is a changed culture.
The head must come out of football. You can be tough, you have to be tough to play football, but no one has a tough brain. And so the right thing to do is to take the head out of the game.
And I'm proud that USA Football can deliver this and ultimately look parents in the eye and say, we're going to provide a better, safer experience for your children.
Football has become vitally important to America, to who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, a culture, what makes us who we are, what makes this country great.
Football is the greatest team game of all. How many times do you get knocked down and you have to get back up? Life is like that.
Football is the greatest teacher of life values that I know anything about.
Football is passion, it's precision, it's playmaking.
I love this sport. I want this sport to thrive. This sport has meant the world to me. It's been everything. Every single thing that I've ever eaten in my life or stitch of clothes I've ever put on is because of football.
Football is such a great sport. It teaches so many different things. I mean, guys come through it, kids, teamwork, self-discipline, courage. It takes courage to play this sport.
I mean, it's a team thing all the way. So we used to say, hey, if you see a turtle sitting up on the fence post, you just remember one thing. He didn't get there by himself. My goodness, somebody put him up there.
I can tell you everything that my youth coach taught me today, and I'm 55 years old. And so is there an influence? Absolutely. You're the first one in the door, they're going to remember you.
You have these young men at a perfect time in their lives, so it's way bigger than football.
I can't stress it enough how important the impact that you as a youth football coach can have on a young person. Because those coaches are the most important people in those young people's lives right now.
The reason I am in football today, and a lot of the values that I have and I share with my team are values I learned from my coach.
You're the one they look up to, you're the one they respect. So be really, really careful how you act, what you do, and what you say.
The role of the coach and the role of youth football and middle school football, high school football is vital.
Football is life to me. It's a lifestyle. It's being around young people, making their lives hopefully better on and off the field.
It's not about you as a coach. It's about what you do as a coach to help others become better in their lives. And I think that's what a great coach is able to do.
And one of the ways that you can get involved with the great things that are happening here with the USA Football program is by checking out the regional development camps. Those camps take place starting later this month. Phoenix, Arizona, Austin, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Tampa, Florida. That all takes place in the month of February. Moving into March, Houston, Jacksonville, San Francisco in the Bay Area, Dallas, Washington, and Charlotte, North Carolina. And on into April and May, even places like Mission Viejo, California, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Minneapolis, Denver, Kansas City, Chicago, and many more. Those regional development camps are where your kid starts on the road to being able to represent Team USA in the International Bowl. And you want to talk about fun? These kids have it all week here. They have just enjoyed their time and what they've been able to do. And that goes back to the Jamboree and last year as well. Let's take a look at that.
Hello and welcome to the USA Football Jamboree live from AT&T Stadium. Back to pass, wide open in the end zone, touchdown USA. Sweep to the outside and an excellent defensive play. Dive up the middle, but there he is again, Colton Beebe. Ferguson with an excellent throw to DeJohn Rogers. And that is complete down the sideline. Play fake, Aponte to his right. Beautiful pass, catch at the 5, into the end zone, touchdown Lynch. Coming through the backfield and causing a fumble. It is scooped up by Team USA, and it will go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Ryan Wheaton. And down the right sideline, Kamari Murray, the 5'10", 150-pound receiver from Bishop McNamara High School in White Plains, Maryland, for the touchdown.
Made it with some room to run. He's got it, only the kicker to beat. Cuts it to the outside, the kicker dives, he keeps his feet in bounds, and Maiden's gonna run this one into the end zone.
Nelson at the 11. Nelson is off to the races and will not be caught.
Watch out. It looks like we're going in fast forward, ladies and gentlemen. That is true-to-life speed from Charles Nelson.
USA looking for some final punctuation on tonight's win over Canada.
This is where games are played, where friendships are forged, where kids come to have fun, and character takes shape. This is where coaches teach fundamentals, where respect is both learned and earned, where entire communities come together, where the game happens once a week, but the lessons learned last a lifetime. This is where the name on the front of the jersey matters more than the one on the back, where champions are made in the fourth quarter, and memories last long after the clock reaches zero. This is USA football.
Early in the morning on February 1st, the banquet room of the Austin Marriott South fills with anticipation for the USA Football Signing Day breakfast. It is a day circled on the calendar of all hopeful players, the chance to decide where they will play next.
I hope that you definitely pause to reflect on this moment. I mean, the fact that you've earned this, you need to pause and reflect on this opportunity, this setting, this room. This is an incredibly special moment. And the opportunity to be here today to take that next big leap, as you said, the start of your next chapter in your lives is very, very special.
But in a quiet room down the hall, it is a fax machine that brings to completion a dance that began months ago. More than 50 players from the game signed their letters of intent at the largest event of its kind in the nation.
This is everything I ever hoped for. You know, ever since I was a kid, you know, looking at the older guys, Rivals.com, Scott.com, the top-ranked players, you know, it feels good to be one of the players that say that you're top, you're number one. So, I mean, it feels good.
It was awesome, man. I'm telling everybody congratulations, and I'm kind of excited. I'm waiting for me to sign.
The media crush is inevitable. It is a step that every great college player once took, and the significance of such is evident on the faces of all involved.
As we take a look at the halftime recap with Team USA leading 21-0. Riley Neal, the second quarterback into the game for Team USA, followed Ryan Boyle, who did a fine job, but Neal really took off. 8 of 11, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those touchdown passes were to Jalen Guyton and Ben Glines, and you also had Devontae Strickland catching a touchdown pass from Boyle earlier in the game.
And, of course, one of those another touchdown wiped off the board for Neal as well, so he could have possibly had 3 touchdowns and maybe emerging as the potential MVP of this game. Didn't even get to start.
That's right. He had to wait his turn behind Ryan Boyle. Meanwhile, Logan Fisher for Team Canada has had some nice carries, 5 for 23 yards, but their offense has been really slowed down by this Team USA defense, and that is one of the reasons why it is a 21-0 halftime score for Team USA. Team USA comes back onto the field, we remind you that Marriott is the official hotel partner of USA Football and the U.S. national teams, and also Field Turf is the official building grant partner of USA Football. Great to have those fine sponsors working with us to bring this event to you this afternoon on ESPN3, wherever you might be watching, not only in the United States or Canada, but around the world. We know that last week during the International Bowl at AT&T Stadium, when the Team USA Select team took on the IFAF team out of the International Federation of American Football, you had players, Greg, from Sweden, Switzerland, Brazil, you name it. They were represented in that ball game, so there were viewers all over the world watching American football last weekend.
And it's always been fun, even dating back to the times when the 19U team played against the same international competition, not just Team Canada. There was an interesting mix of players that would come onto the field, and one of my favorite guys all time in the history of this game to play on one of the international squads was Tavon Smith, the Canadian missile, who went on to sign with the Iowa Hawkeyes and have a pretty storied career there in the Big Ten.
Good stuff, and it has happened. You have a lot of players who have been able to play college football coming from other parts of the world, Canada, and different nationalities. Of course, Team Mexico was well represented last week. Their quarterback, Carlos Fernandez, went the distance for the IFAF team and did a good job with that program. So fun to see the American game of football take root elsewhere in the world. We talked about that a little bit last week, how usually the United States imports sports, and soccer, of course, a great example of that, but sometimes we'll export them as well, and football is an export that has been gaining in popularity. Team Canada will kick. Team USA will have the ball to start this second half. Leading 21-0. 3 touchdown passes, 1 from Ryan Boyle and 2 from Riley Neal for Team USA.
Be interested to see who steps on the field to start the first or the second half of action off as the starting quarterback here too.
Team USA limited to 2 quarterbacks in the game as Brett Cox, the young man from Saxe High School here in the North Texas area, had to withdraw from the game this week and decided not to play. But not too much trouble so far for Team USA, as they've been able to move the ball effectively. They take it at the 2-yard line and return it across the 20 to the 22. A 20-yard return for Jordan Stevenson, the future Wisconsin Badger.
Boyle to get the start here in the second half for Team USA.
Good to see Ryan Boyle back out on the field. Young man from Urbandale, Iowa. Grew up as a little kid dreaming of playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and this past week signed his letter of intent to attend the University of Iowa and become a future Hawkeye quarterback. His pass attempt for Ben Glines goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for Team USA. I like the build of Ben Glines, an interesting, versatile player. Pass to Tyler Petit, caught for about a 4-yard gain. Glines had a touchdown pass caught in the first half. He's a 6'2", 205-pounder who's going to Boston College. He's lined up at inside receiver for Team USA. Played running back at his high school, ran for over 1,200 yards. Not sure if you'll remember the name. Ryan Boyle throws it. It's incomplete, looking for Papali at the 40-yard line, but it reminds me a lot, a young man named James Casey who played for Rice and then went on to play in the NFL. That H-back, the ideal H-back, 6'2", 200 pounds, versatile either out of the backfield or catching the ball, and just an all-around excellent player.
Well, here's a stat for you that you don't hear from an H-back or tight end figure too much, a 3.87 pro shuttle. So Glines has some speed as well.
Yeah, which is why his Twitter handle is Benny the Jet.
Makes sense.
Not much on that possession for Team USA, though, and they'll punt on 4th down. Boyle, rugby-style kick, taken by Hunchak at the 43-yard line, and Colton Hunchak across the USA 40 to the 39-yard line. So good field position to start this second half for Team Canada. Their first possession will feature Liam Putt at quarterback, and Putt has been the go-to guy since the second possession of the game for Team Canada, as their starting quarterback, Brett Hunchak, is on the sideline. Hunchak, not sure, we don't have a sideline reporter this afternoon, but looks like there might be something wrapped around his wrist. He might have gotten banged up on that first possession of the game.
And regardless of who the quarterback's been for Team Canada, they have had a hard time getting into a rhythm and a consistent, established pace of this game.
Yeah, Team USA's defense has certainly stepped up this afternoon. Big plays from some big-time players. They had the interception by Mario Osborne. A couple of sacks in the game as well. Thomas Toki had a big one. Putt's throw caught by Colton Hunchak, and Hunchak spins out of a tackle down to the 31-yard line. A couple of yards shy of a first down. Speaking of Osborne, he helped make the tackle on that play. Third down and 2 for the Canadians as they try to get off the schneid and put points on the board this afternoon.
You start to see Canada start to work the middle of the field, maybe trying to go away from trying to work the edges against a very talented defensive backcourt that features some of the best players in the country.
Putt hands off. Hunchak. Actually, that's Johnson with the handoff to the 26-yard line. Caden Johnson picks up a Canadian first down.
At one cornerback spot, you have Tyson Smith going to Michigan State. And on the other corner, you have Jared Maiden, who racked up over 30 scholarship offers as a junior before narrowing it down to a top 3 of Ohio State, Oregon, and TCU. Some pretty good programs there that he's taking under consideration as he'll make his decision next year.
A nice group of schools to choose from Jared Maiden, who had a brother play in one of the younger division games earlier last week over at AT&T Stadium.
Almost walked away with an interception right there, Jared Maiden, and his older brother, James Maiden, is currently on the roster at Rice.
So a football playing family out of Saxe. Saxe, a suburb north of Dallas. Produced quite a few terrific football players. In fact, one of their running back signed with Nebraska this past week, Divino Zigbo.
Yep, and he's a big grinding running back that Nebraska's had a lot of success with, about 6 foot, 220 pounds.
Nebraska likes to dip into the talent pool in the North Texas area for sure, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Nebraska, if you're a Nebraska fan and the names Rex Burkhead is familiar to you, or the name escapes me, but a running back just a couple of years ago from Euless Trinity here in the North Texas area went to Nebraska as well, and he's made some impact up there. So they do have a pipeline here.
And they also signed 5-star running back Aaron Green, who you now will recall plays for TCU, the number 2 rated team in the country, transferred to TCU after playing at Nebraska.
Ball comes loose after a rush by Team USA. Putt fumbles it, and it's picked up by Team USA as it's Jacob Robinson with the fumble recovery as he gets partial credit on the sack as well.
Also a football family there and a very good sports family as he has family played at Bradley and Columbia.
Robinson from Westfield, Indiana. He is signed on to play for the Hoosiers. And that will give Team USA the football, leading 21-0. Penalty flags. False start penalty coming against Team USA. So we see a lot of Big Ten players in this game. Greg, you've got Iowa well represented, Michigan State, Indiana. Who came away from the Big Ten signing day in the best shape?
Well, Ohio State walked away with the number 1 class in the Big Ten and one of the top 10 classes on Scout.com. Had some great signings, being able to sign the number 1 running back away from Jim Harbaugh in his very first class at Michigan. And that was a big signing day surprise for the Buckeyes because everybody had him tabbed for a late switch that he would sign with the Wolverines.
Got a Wisconsin running back in the ball game right now, Jordan Stevenson. Close to a 2-yard gain there for Stevenson. Making up a long third down for Team USA.
And, of course, Ohio State, no stranger to the quarterback position, had 3 very accomplished quarterbacks on their roster right now, signed scout 4-star Torrance Gibson, who may be next in line there.
Well, you consider the logjam that's already there at Ohio State with 3 outstanding quarterbacks. That might change here depending on who transfers or doesn't, but they've already got some guys in the fold, so going into that, you know you're going to be sitting for a little bit anyway.
I'm very interested to see how that plays out. I actually think the arm strength of Cardell Jones is what took their team to the next level on that late run, and he had quite a season coming in at the right time at the Big Ten championship game and then to win the 2 games in the college football playoff.
No question about it, but you still have other players there who are hoping to get their shot. And J.T. Barrett that was injured, and you've just got
Braxton Miller,
who's an excellent quarterback who started the season as the guy that everybody thought would lead Ohio State.
He was one of the leading candidates for the Heisman Trophy before the season started and his shoulder injury happened.
We'll take a time out, but first I want to remind you that Upper Deck is an official sponsor of USA Football, the official trading card partner of USA Football and the U.S. national teams, and Volt Athletic, the official strength and conditioning solutions partner of the U.S. national team. Back in a moment. UTA's Maverick Stadium, the home for International Bowl 2015, the Under-19 championship between Team USA and Team Canada. Doug Anderson with you this afternoon, along with Greg Powers from Scout.com. Hope you're enjoying the festivities on ESPN3 or wherever you might be watching. A beautiful day in the North Texas area for football as the handoff for Team Canada goes to Logan Fisher. He was the leading ball carrier in the first half for Team Canada. Picks up about 4, maybe 5 on that run.
And you know you've had a good defensive day when you haven't really had to call the names of the safeties out too much. They're taking care of things up front and kind of keeping Canada behind the 8 ball as far as their offense is concerned.
Another handoff to Fisher, and Fisher plows his way to the 49-yard line. Couple of yards to bring up third down.
49-yard line. It's a 2-yard gain, third down and 3.
I know Khalil Halton going on to Oklahoma is a big hitter, a guy who likes to come up and get in the mix against the run, so I bet he's chomping at the bit to maybe let one of these linebackers let that running back slide past so he can take somebody out.
See if they go back to Fisher on third down or take to the air. Pudd will throw it. He's got an open receiver, caught for a first down, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Team USA. Felix Laflamme with the reception, and that is a big pickup for Team Canada.
That was a great play call right there. They had the mismatch. They had big linebacker Colton Beebe in coverage there, and he just didn't have the speed to mess with Laflamme in the open field.
Colton Beebe, like a lot of the Canadians, players that have played in this event before, played on the under-18 team last year.
Beebe, a true Mike linebacker look, actually looked up to Dick Butkus, and there he is right there trying to force the action outside.
Fisher dragged down at the 35-yard line. Tackle was made by Trevor Morris. And second down and 5 coming up for Team Canada.
I'm amazed that some of these guys actually can recall the Dick Butkuses of the world and want to pattern their game after those guys.
It's neat when you see a name like Dick Butkus mentioned by one of these guys, and there's been a couple of those. Walter Payton is a guy who has drawn a lot of admiration from these young men, even though his playing days were a long, long time ago. But they still remember. They still know the names of some of the great football players that have come through and played for not only in the NFL but great college players as well. Fisher picks up the first down. But by and large, I mean by an overwhelming majority, when you look at the team bios, any guess as to who the favorite current player is for these young men? And I mean, it wasn't even close.
Wow, I don't know. You tell me.
would be one J.J. Watt.
Wow.
Yeah, J.J. Watt, I mean, on almost every bio, he was the guy that some of these young men wanted to meet, they looked up to. And, hey, you know what? There's not a better role model in football right now than J.J. Watt, so more power to him. If that's who they want to be like, I say that's great.
And not only a great role model as far as what he does off the field and what he gives back to the game, but also a great story in the fact that he was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school, worked hard to develop his game and to be one of the top players not only in college football but in the NFL as well.
Well, you make your living at this, so I'm interested to pick your brain on this subject because thinking about that this past week, and there's always the debate every year of, okay, well, why do some 5-star guys not make it? Why do some 2-star guys become superstars like a J.J. Watt? And we'll see Logan Fisher here run the ball through the middle of the field, taken down at about the 16, 17-yard line. And one theory that's floating out there right now is that the guys that are 5-star athletes a lot of times are guys that have hit their ceiling, and they're really not going to get any better than what they are on the high school level. What do you think about something like that?
You know, I think it's always a good combination of things that makes you either be successful or not successful in college. And the first thing that you have to be able to do once you get on campus is take care of what you need to take care of away from the field to be able to be a factor on it. So whether you're rated as a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star recruit, you have to be able to take care of what you need to away from the game to be a great player. It's not always about on-the-field attributes when you're talking about sustained success.
I think that's an excellent point. It's all about work ethic when you get to the next level, and that's what I think a lot of guys, a lot of athletes, as we see the catch there coming from Team Canada for LaFlamme, a lot of athletes, college and pro, were tweeting out after National Signing Day, hope you enjoyed that. Now the work begins, and that's really true.
And really, fans don't celebrate the 2-stars and 3-stars enough, because when you're talking about the 2- and 3-star guys, those are still some of the most elite guys, not only in the country, but you're talking about the best player from their team, the best player from their town, and they're rated as a 2 or a 3-star. They're still great talents.
Absolutely. 4th down for Team Canada. Whistle blows before the snap. And Team Canada has called a timeout. They want to talk things over on a big 4th down for them as they trail 21-0.
At Super Chicks, there are 3 food and
When you get away from smartphones and video games and tablets, it's amazing what you can really plug into. This season, shop the brands you love, plus thousands of items on sale now. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Some people have to travel for work.
Hi there! Looks like you've had a long day. Pull up a crate.
Some people get to travel for work.
Really looking forward to this spinach salad. It's got quinoa in it.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard, make room for a little fun.
It's wireless. You like reggae?
4th down for Team Canada. Putt, hands off. Fisher trying to fight his way to the 1st down. Helmet pops off and he stops shy. Big tackle for Drayton Carlberg, the young man out of Minneapolis, as he nails Logan Fisher short of the 1st down.
And I have to say that Carlberg may be the most impressive looking guy on the field when he steps on it. Very impressive frame. And Thomas Toki also got his nose in the mix right there, and he's a stout guy at 6'1", 287 pounds, heading on to Wazoo up in Washington.
Carlberg, we talked about a Oregon signee. Big into volunteering and volunteer for Red Cross, among others. Handoff A.J. Turner, and Turner with a 4-yard pickup up to the 18-yard line. Turner, Jordan Stevenson, and a little bit of Ronnie Frigg mixed in. Been a good backfield trio for Team USA today. It's done enough. Those 3 guys have done enough to keep the defense honest and allow the passing game downfield to flourish. Here's a pass, in fact, to Tyler Petit, close to a 1st down at the 24-yard line.
I believe with his forward progress, they may have given him the 1st down there.
They do. Riley Neal, the quarterback for Team USA, Hand off to Turner. Turner trying to find the edge up to the 30-yard line. Officially spotted down 31. 6-yard gain for A.J. Turner.
And it looked like he really had nowhere to go, was able to churn out those 6 yards. I mean, that's an impressive burst that this kid has.
Turner again, this time dropped in the backfield. Good job for Team Canada that time by Simon Aubin-Lavoie. And he really made a beeline to Turner that time on the play.
There was nothing Turner could do to get away from that guy that time.
Long third down, Neal. Flush from the pocket, looks downfield. Will spin out of bounds. Wanted to throw the ball away, just didn't have anywhere to go with it. And had to keep it for a big loss of yardage as he goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
They're going to be forced to punt here, but I still love what Neal is able to do once he gets outside the pocket.
Yeah, Riley Neal definitely has a presence about him, and he doesn't get rattled. He looks downfield. He knew he wasn't going to be able to throw the ball, just went out of bounds. Didn't try to make something happen that wasn't there.
A couple of tweaks to his game, and I think that he's a guy who can make a really big impact at Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State, not like they haven't produced quarterbacks in the past. Here's punt from Ryan Boyle, the other quarterback for Team USA. This one will be downed at the 46-yard line, so good field position for Team Canada.
Been the punter today, but I'm just going to go ahead and mark it down that he will not be the punter once he gets to Iowa.
I don't think so. I think they certainly will have somebody that can take care of those duties for him. We talked about the Big Ten and their signing classes. You take a look at some of the other major conferences. Let's talk about the SEC a little bit. Got a few guys heading to the SEC in this game today. A couple of South Carolina commitments. And you take a look at just what do you think about signing day in the SEC, the best conference in college football?
A couple of guys going to play for Steve Spurrier here, but Spurrier has his work cut out for him at South Carolina, competing against the Auburns and Alabamas of the world. And, of course, Jim McElwain getting the job at Florida did a good job to close with a strong class there, signed the #1 offensive tackle in the country, Martez Ivey.
That's a tough job when you come into the game late and have to scramble. But a couple of coaches had to do it and had done a pretty good job. Here's a pass downfield, incomplete.
That was Jameel Johnson kind of coming over there in support of Jared Maiden, Texas Tech signee. Jameel Johnson could probably play safety or corner once he gets into Lubbock.
Chichi Bisaka was the intended receiver on the play, and Johnson broke up the pass. And when we talk about guys that had a short window of opportunity, Tom Herman at the University of Houston, and here locally, Chad Morris at SMU really had to hit the ground running, and Morris, I think, did a fantastic job for SMU to put together a nice class.
I think those guys both did a great job to close with there we go with an interception.
Yeah, certainly an interception for Prentice McKinney. For Team USA, McKinney at the 30. McKinney heading to the end zone, the 10, the 5, touchdown.
Oklahoma fans got to have a big smile on their face right now because he was their late steal, picked the Oklahoma Sooners over North Carolina in a signing day decision.
Prentice McKinney from nearby South Oak Cliff High School makes Boomer Sooner jump for joy with a huge interception return for a touchdown.
Interesting story there. He was actually one time committed to Notre Dame. Oklahoma signing defensive backs coach Kerry Cooks to Norman, and of course Prentice McKinney now is going to play for Coach Cooks for the Sooners.
Out of the hold of David Brazel.
David Brazel will hold. Seth Pugh to kick. And the kick is up, hits the upright, but bounces through, and good. And that is the final play of the third quarter, with Team USA taking a 28-0 lead to the fourth.
The icon of the game. The icon of competition. The icon of athleticism. The icon of fandom. the icon of the future. The future of football is now.
So at St. Vincent Sports Performance, whether we're talking about Olympic athletes or middle school and high school athletes, the foundation is the same. We want to remove dysfunction and then build upon their sport-specific movements to allow them to function at a very high level on and off the field.
3 offensive and 1 defensive touchdowns this afternoon for Team USA. Prentice McKinney putting his name in the books with a huge interception and return for a TD. What was that, about 80 yards on the return there, as Team USA takes a 28-0 lead. And we mentioned just briefly the holder for Team USA, David Brazel, son of Coach Brian Brazel of Hebron High School here in the North Texas area, one of the more respected high school coaches in the state of Texas.
And, of course, Brian played his college football at TCU.
Pugh ready to kick it. And with the wind at his back, goes 5 yards deep. Caden Johnson will return it for Team Canada across the 20, finds a seam, the 30. Watch out, breaks a tackle in midfield, shakes another man to the 40 and down at the 35-yard line. Huge return for Caden Johnson. Made some nice moves on that one, and it gives Team Canada a chance with their ball on the Team USA 35-yard line.
OU-bound Khalil Houghton with a touchdown-saving tackle, running up from behind, showing his speed right there.
Caden Johnson, a young man from Carrollbird, Saskatchewan. And
when he first brought that ball out, I was thinking, this is probably ill-advised, but it worked out to his benefit.
Certainly did. He's made a big play for his team, and now they've got a chance to do something with the ball on the 35-yard line. Big hit as
it's Houghton again, and I told you he was a big hitter. He finally got his opportunity to come up and put his nose in there and make a big stick.
That was Liam Murphy with the carry, and wow, Houghton just leveled him.
Houghton is Scout.com 4-star prospect, one of the most heralded signees in Bob Stoops' 2015 signing class.
Young man from Waco, Texas. Played at Midway, the same high school that Devontre Strickland played for.
Going to be rivals in college.
Yep. Looking at each other from the opposite sides.
Baylor's had the upper hand on that rivalry here over the last few seasons.
Pressure coming, and Liam Putt runs out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Make it the 33, actually, after they say he stepped out of bounds a couple of yards shy of that mark. And, of course, when you start talking about Big 12 football, we've got a lot of future representatives of Big 12 ball here on the field today, and this is the prime recruiting ground that we sit in right now, the North Texas area, for the Big 12.
And one of them not get to step on the field today because of an injury, Ryan Newsom, who signed with the Texas Longhorns, and Charlie Strong in his first full recruiting season was able to sign the #1 class in the Big 12 at Texas.
Fade pass incomplete as Putt was looking for Rick Lamonigan. And Charlie Strong really did a nice job, I thought, of he suffered some losses as some guys, flipped to different schools, but he also was able to pick up a few guys, and Newsom was one of those.
He actually had a commitment ceremony where he announced to UCLA, and then a couple weeks later actually inked his name to Texas, and one of the more dramatic recruitments that I've followed in recent years.
Absolutely. And Newsom, if you've never seen him before, he's a heck of a playmaker. Played for an awesome program at Aledo High School in the North Texas area, just to the west of Fort Worth.
I have to believe that if he played in this game, he's a great punt return and kick return guy, that he would have had the opportunity to make some big plays.
Bud throws the pass complete as it goes to Curtis Putz, but that is shy of the first down. And Team USA will have the ball. And I think Newsom will make some great strides at the University of Texas. He's speaking of flipping. One player literally had a coin flip to decide his signing with the University of Texas. Rockwall running back Chris Warren.
And, of course, the son of the great NFL Chris Warren, who played for the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys.
Riley Neal's pass sails over the head of Tyler Petit. Downfield, incomplete. Yeah, Warren put together a tremendous senior season at Rockwall High School, and had a chance to see him a couple of times playing in his high school uniform. And man, that is a man-child there. Chris Warren, he's about 6'2", 210 pounds, and all strength and speed heading to the University of Texas.
And Charlie Strong did a great job of mixing in what we've talked about, California, Texas, and Florida being some of the biggest producers of talent nationwide. He's done a great job of using his contacts in Florida to sign kids and mixing those in with the best kids from Texas, and that's why his class was so special.
Flag down on this play. Other teams in the Big 12, I thought that had a nice day. You mentioned Oklahoma, pretty good class there. Texas Tech.
Don't forget about TCU, Doug. TCU did a great job. They actually didn't get a cash in on a lot of their success because they had a lot of committed players before they actually went on their run. But 8 4-stars in the 2016 class already committed.
Neal in trouble. Finds a way out, now throws downfield, man open. It's picked off. The pass was intended for Devontae Strickland. He couldn't find it. So instead, Team Canada takes it. Tyler Seifert with the interception. And Team Canada with a little bit of a momentum-building play there perhaps for them.
They don't have too much time to play around. Down by 4 scores, they're going to have to try to get into a hurry-up offense here to put some points on the board and have some things go right for them to have a chance to get back into this game.
A lot of football to play, but yeah, they are down by 4 scores here, 28-0. They have not had the benefit of their starting quarterback, Brett Hunchak. As they pass it, it's picked off. Just like that, Team USA with the ball back in their hands as they're able to pick up the interception. And for the second time today, it's Prentice McKinney with the INT.
I think the safeties are starting to get in the mix. I think I've had the jinx on the yellow flags, and then I went ahead and said that the safeties weren't getting to make too many plays, and it's been all safety since.
Prentice McKinney just saw the ball coming, was able to step in front of the intended receiver, and it's his second interception of the day. Handoff Stevenson. Stevenson bounces off a man. Watch out. Stevenson at the 40. Now will roll out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Decided not to try and take the extra contact as he was escorted out by Adam O'Clair.
And not something that you'll say often when you're discussing Stevenson's game. He is not shy to contact. He takes on a lot of tacklers, and maybe he's starting to think, man, I'd rather not take the shot than take it.
Well, in a game like this one, you're up 28-0, and you're not necessarily fighting for that extra yard in a game like this one. So he decided to take the escort out of bounds. I'm not going to hold that against him on that play. Tyler Petit with the reception to midfield. Short second down coming up for Team USA. Neal to pass, finds a man, caught at the 45 and spun down at the 42-yard line. Ben Glines with the reception.
Glines is a heck of a player right there. I think that Boston College, you got to steal.
I really do too. I just like the way he's made up. I like his versatility, and he's big and can run fast. And, of course, that's what you're looking for on the next level. Stevenson, the ball carrier, not much there, if any. We talked about Big Ten football, the SEC, the Big 12. Let's head out west and mention, the Pac-12. There's some players on this field today that will be wearing those Pac-12 uniforms coming up pretty soon. And you've got Washington State represented today. You've got Oregon represented. There's some good players on this field that are heading that way.
And, of course, USC inking the #1 class in the country. Tyler Petit will be joining some very good players there. One that stands out to me is Amon Biggie Marshall, one of the top-rated corners in the entire country, going to come in and give Steve Sarkisian an instant impact player at a very marquee position.
Neal, pump fake. Now runs away from trouble, looks downfield, throws, incomplete.
Be remiss not to mention UCLA when you're talking about Pac-12 as well. Adrian Clem, who used to coach at SMU, has been a huge force in not only recruiting players on the West Coast, but is still a factor here in Texas.
Got an injured player on the field for Team Canada. That's Lawaya Lako, I believe, and we'll wait for him to be tended to. We'll take a timeout.
We play for this. It's our country. It's our sport. Let them keep getting up. They gonna keep knocking it down. Let them get back out. So we're to play, man. I die for my country. I die for all y'all. I die for my family. All them here to watch me. Let them go.
Health can change in a minute. So CVS Health is changing healthcare, making it more accessible and affordable. With walk-in medical care, no appointments needed, and most insurance accepted. Minute Clinic, another innovation from CVS Health. Because health is everything.
Take a look at what just happened for Team USA. Riley Neal in trouble again, but does a great job of avoiding the pressure, throws it downfield where Vinny Papali is standing by. He had the reception for a first down. Now back to the live action. A.J. Turner with the handoff just to the line of scrimmage and taken down there.
A little bit surprised that more teams didn't take a shot on Papali. I mean, he has some serious speed and a good size, too.
And one thing that impressed me about his high school resume was how versatile he was. He was an offensive player, defensive player, and even was the punter for his high school team. So he did a little bit of everything. Neal, time to throw, looks downfield, nothing there. Now we'll roll out, check the field again, throw to the end zone, incomplete. Oh, that ball was right in the hands of his intended receiver. And that would have been a touchdown for Tyler Petit. He couldn't hold on to it.
I bet he hasn't had too many of those in his career.
Now Petit comes into the game, as you mentioned, heading to USC out of Moraga, California. 6'5", 230-pounder.
You hear coaches all the time telling players to make sure that they catch the ball well away from their body, and I think that's a mistake he made on that particular play. Just let it get in a little bit too deep, and that's why it was able to bounce away.
Third down. Handoff hit in the backfield. A.J. Turner is dropped on the play by Daniel Nesbitt. Nesbitt's been a force this afternoon for Team Canada. Called his name a few times.
Probably my favorite player that stepped on the field for them in this game. He's all over the field, and he has also probably the greatest look with the long hair flowing out of his helmet.
He's got that Clay Matthews kind of look working for him. Young man out of Montreal. Actually, Regina, Saskatchewan. Neal, once again, doing a great job of rolling away from the pressure. Now throws, it's caught at the 15-yard line.
That's Austin Maloney.
Austin Maloney with his first catch of the afternoon. Haven't called his name. 6'1", 185-pounder out of Miami, Florida, who's headed to FIU.
Come up a little bit short of the first down there, but Maloney has something that was on his resume that that really caught my eye. The leading reception and yardage in South Florida and Broward County, one of the most talented areas and pockets of talent in the entire country.
Yeah, that area is known for producing some great high school football players, and he's certainly one in a long line. And to set those kind of records, it just shows you how talented he was and how productive he was in his high school career. Handoff. Hunchak hit in the backfield and dropped. Colton Hunchak having a hard time finding any running room against this Team USA defense as time continues to run with 6:44 remaining in the game.
You can break down why the Team USA defense has had so much success, but to a man, they've been dominating the guy across from them, and I think that's why you've seen Canada struggle to not only put points on the board, but to even move the chains.
Long second down for Team Canada, needing 13. 3 receivers split to the left, and Liam Putt throws quick to the right, incomplete. He was trying to find Chichi Bukasa, but the play was broken up well by Team USA.
Head coach Tom Westerberg at Allen High actually has done some great things with his defenses here in recent memory. Signed a lot of players off of his 2013 team to D1 scholarships. Still revamped that defense to go on and win their 3rd consecutive state championship.
That was Tyson Smith who had the breakup. And, yeah, Westerberg, his resume is unbelievable when it comes to just the accomplishments. 4 state championships. He's won about 100 more games that he's lost, and that's like 113-13 at this point, I think, in his career at Allen High School. He was an assistant. Get a false start penalty against Team Canada. Was an assistant at Garland High School in the North Texas area. They won a state championship there. He followed his head coach, Joe Martin, to Allen. They had success in Allen. Then when Joe Martin left, he took over as the head coach, and, I mean, he's taking it to a whole nother level.
A lot of Texas high school football coaches now going on to college success. Of course, Chad Moore's the head coach at SMU now, but a lot of guys getting assistant coaching jobs. Kenny Perry from Arlington Bowie, and I think Westerberg and guys like Jeff Traylor at Gilmer and possibly Joey McGuire at Cedar Hill are probably the next in line for those type of hires in the college game.
Yeah, the rumor Joey McGuire could get a job at Texas under Charlie Strong. I actually talked to Coach McGuire during the high school football playoffs about that very thing, the idea of him going to the next level as an assistant. This was when David Beatty got hired as the head coach at Kansas. He and Beatty are very close friends. He said, well, you know, my son's a sophomore right now in high school, so I don't know whether or not I'm going until he gets out of school. But you never know. If the right offer comes along, it's hard to say no to it.
It's definitely a great opportunity, whether he decides to accept a job or if he gets offered the job as the tight end special teams coach at Texas or continue on at Cedar Hill and coach his son. And, of course, Cedar Hill is a great program to be a head coach of. I mean, it's not like he's wanting for opportunity because he has a great options on both sides of the table.
I was going to say he's practically coaching a college team right now at Cedar Hill. I saw a note this week, Greg, that said that Cedar Hill put out 19 Division I signees this week. The state of Oregon put out 16. One school putting out more than the whole state.
And they sent them to major programs, too. You're talking about Ole Miss, LSU. I mean, just some of the best programs in the entire country that Cedar Hill sent guys on to play for.
Team Canada giving the ball back to Team USA, and Ryan Boyle back in at quarterback for Team USA. Throws to his man Strickland, and Strickland picks up about 8 down that far sideline. That's been Boyle's favorite target today. Caught a touchdown pass from him in the first quarter.
Strickland's the exact example that you would like to talk about when an outside receiver gets off the line quickly, has great hands, and is a deep ball threat as well.
Boyle under pressure. He goes down, 35-yard line. Yeah, Strickland's going to fit right in with Art Briles in Waco doing what the Baylor Bears do. Because with their offense, it's a lot about what can your receiver do after the catch. It's all about the yards after catch. And Strickland seems like the kind of guy that can do well in that system. Oh, takes a hard hit here. Penalty flags on the play as the ball was headed his way. And he was popped by Daniel Legal.
Strickland was actually one of the more debated star rankings that we put out on a guy. Was actually a very highly rated 3-star, but the case could definitely have been made that he could have been a 4-star type of prospect.
Well, we mentioned that. That brings up an interesting question. You know, the parameters or the factors that go into the stars. What do you look at primarily when you're evaluating a player in terms of where you're going to rank them star-wise?
Well, a Clemson defensive coordinator and former Oklahoma defensive coordinator Brent Venables actually has one of the best quotes that I can kind of sum up. Oh, touchdown pass here.
I got to stop you for just a second, as that was a tremendous catch from Tyler Petit. He finally finds the end zone today. Boyle left this one hanging in the air, and Petit came down with it with one hand to make the grab for the touchdown.
Boyle has a rocket arm, and he's been really trying to fire those balls in there. I really love that he took some off of that pass and used the wind to his advantage right there.
Are you talking about Venables? Okay, back to his ranking system.
Well, what the point that he made, and something that I take into account, is he says you can have a guy that's 2 inches too short or would line up 2 inches to the right or 2 inches to the left, and those are not the guys that they need. And that's the same thing with the star rankings. You could be a little bit slower in the 40 or a little bit shorter than the guy that's rated right in front of you, and that can be all the difference in the world when you're actually talking about a long-term projection.
After the extra point, we have a new score of 35-0. Team USA on top of Team Canada. I want to remind you that the broadcast this afternoon is brought to you by Siege Sports, the official uniform provider of the U.S. national teams, and also by Physio Control, the official AED provider of USA football. Had a chance to talk with Chris Barnes, the president of Siege Sports, last weekend and talk about these uniforms. Great look for Team USA. Last week they were wearing a white helmet with the USA logo, the under-18, under-17 teams. This week it's a blue helmet for the under-19.
And the guys are really fired up about the jerseys. I mean, they have a lot of pride in them, and I think that this has probably been the best jersey scheme that we've seen.
That's a great look, and I think so many of these players were proud to represent their country this week, proud to wear the red, white, and blue. And if they're going to go out there and wear their team, their nation's colors, then you want them to look good, and they certainly do. 4:26 left in the game. It's been all Team USA this afternoon. Defense has dominated Team Canada.
Fisher again deep for Team Canada.
Seth Pugh will kick for Team USA. Two men deep for the Canadian squad. Caden Johnson had a nice return on the last kick. This time Johnson will be doing the blocking, as the return is across the 25 for Logan Fisher. Fisher hit at the 26 and dropped there.
There's the guy Tyson Smith with a very sound tackle in the open field right there.
So Liam Putt will quarterback the Canadians. It's been a tough day for the Canadians offensively, and part of that has been Brett Hunchak, their starting quarterback, injured on the first drive of the game, and he hadn't played since. And that was an unfortunate turn of events for them, because I think they were planning on at least having his services for a large portion of this game. Handoff, and maybe a yard picked up for Team Canada, as that was a run up the middle for Caden Johnson. Bobby McMillan with the tackle on the play. McMillan made about 150 tackles his senior year at Napierville, Illinois, on his way to Iowa State.
He's got his name called an awful lot here in the second half, too. So, I mean, I think that he's a guy, as this game's went on, has really established his presence.
Run up the middle to the 36-yard line. And Johnson again, that time a pretty nice carry, picks up what should be a first down.
First down Canada at the 36.
Team Canada and Team USA will come out of this week-long event tied at 3 in the games. It started with the under-18 game last Friday night, a week ago from yesterday, and concludes today.
And Team Canada's really made a lot of improvements in recent years of playing American football. Their teams continue to get better and better and more impressive, I think, with each season.
Now, we saw last Saturday when we did 4 games from AT&T Stadium, several talented Canadian squads. The future looks pretty bright for their football program. There's an injured player from Team Canada on the turf. Time stops with 2:59 remaining in the game.
What does it take to become elite? It takes more than dedication, focus, and hard work. It takes an elite-level training program. Customized, sport-specific, online. Your perfect workout every time. That's Volt Athletics.
The injured player for Team Canada was David Singer, the offensive lineman from Regina, Saskatchewan. 6'4", 305-pounder, and he walks off to get tended to on the Canadian sideline. Team USA trying to shut out the Canadian squad this afternoon in Arlington. Handoff Caden Johnson. Johnson rolls left and run out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Prentice McKinney with the tackle on the play.
Quite a defensive back tandem I think you're going to see in Norman with Prentice McKinney and Khalil Houghton. McKinney's been a ball hawk with the ball in the air, and Houghton's been coming and laying the wood to the guys who are trying to bring the ball up the middle of the field.
They already have a pretty good secondary in place, and just like those two guys, they've robbed from the state of Texas quite a bit to get some players.
Putting in the mix with those two guys is Pflugerville Hendrickson's PJ and Banasaur, 6'1", 200-pound cornerback who is about as good as you'll ever find, and of course the high school teammate of Samaji Pirine there.
Incomplete pass for Team Canada. The pass was intended for Felix Laflamme, and that will bring on the kicking unit for Team Canada as they will punt the ball away. Back to receive it for Team USA is Rashad Fenton. Fenton hadn't had a chance to get his hands on the ball this afternoon. The defensive back from Miami, they've kicked away from him all day long. This time the ball will roll in his direction, but the Canadians are there to down it at the 27-yard line. So 2:09 remaining in the game. We'll see if Team USA tries to put one more point score on the board, or if they just try to run the clock down and take a victory to the locker room in this under-19 championship. Team USA got off to a good start in the first quarter. Ryan Boyle threw a touchdown pass to Devontae Strickland. Riley Neals thrown a few as well this afternoon. He's found Jalen Guyton and Ben Glines. Prentice McKinney had an interception for a touchdown for Team USA. A.J. Turner will take the handoff here. Turner breaks a tackle, heads right, watch out, 40-yard line at midfield. Turner finally taken down at the Canada 44-yard line, but a big run for A.J. Turner as he puts a little more padding on his stats this afternoon.
Doesn't look like the prototypical South Carolina running back. It's not the big grinder that you kind of see them usually line up with, but definitely a very talented kid in his own right. Just has a different skill set than what you may be used to seeing, and I think that could be conducive to getting him on the field early.
This time it's Ronnie Frick with the handoff. But yeah, Turner got a chance to contribute right away in South Carolina. And he's the kind of guy that's a leader and a winner. He was on a state championship team as a junior, led his team back to the state title game as a senior. They lost in the state championship game this past year.
Well, anytime you have a thunderous running back, it doesn't hurt to mix in a little bit of lightning with those guys. And then, of course, in today's game, it's a tandem set of running backs for most of these high-profile teams. They're not just lining up with one guy and letting him pound it 30 times anymore.
Now, they find that, I see that all the time. When you have two guys, you've always got fresh legs in the fourth quarter, and that's what you're looking for, is the ability to keep that tempo at the same pace throughout the entire game. You've got to have more than one capable guy in order to do that.
And you're starting to see that more prevalent now in the NFL, as there's even a discussion whether the Dallas Cowboys should spend the money to re-sign DeMarco Murray.
Ball bounces off a defender into the hands of Nesbitt, and Nesbitt takes it inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
He's had himself some kind of game today. He's a very good player.
Daniel Nesbitt in the right place at the right time as the pass bounced off a Canadian defender right into the arms of Daniel Nesbitt. He was able to bring the ball deep into Team USA territory. So maybe the hopes aren't over yet for the Canadians.
36 ticks on the clock. They're going to have to find a way to score enough points per second to get back to get the win.
Don't think that's going to happen, but I think at this point they'd be happy just taking that 0 off the board. Putt in trouble. Down he goes. taken down by Thomas Toki. That's the second sack for Toki this afternoon as he just badgered his way into the backfield.
A little bit shaken up after the play, but, man, he's got a good burst for a guy who's as squat and big as he is. He's very quick off the ball.
One of the Washington State signees in the ball game. Team Canada takes a timeout. 19 seconds left in this ball game with Team USA on top, 35-0. And back to the action with only 19 seconds remaining. Team Canada with the football. Team USA leading 35-0. This is the International Bowl from Maverick Stadium on the campus of UT Arlington. Putt. Open field, looks down for the end zone. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That looked like a touchdown for Rick Lamagian, but unable to reel it in, and Team Canada will stay off of the board for now.
It was Butler-bound Xavier Colvin downfield with the in defense right there, and you think that they don't take the shutout seriously. Look how much they celebrated that incompletion.
Well, Team USA still fighting for their shutout. The defense taking some pride in that, I think, this afternoon. Putt in trouble, and he goes down. The sack for Team USA made by Paris Black, the 6'4", 240-pounder from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that will bring the final timeout for Team Canada with 4 seconds left in the game. Paris Black, we haven't called his name today, but the Wake Forest signee getting into the backfield and bringing down Liam Putt. Wake Forest represented well in this game.
Nice size for Black, too. 6'4", 240 pounds. Going to stay at home from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
You look at Wake Forest, and they're represented today. Duke is represented today. ACC football, known as a basketball conference, really, primarily. But they're starting to put together some football teams as well, not just necessarily Clemson getting the attention there.
But of course, Clemson did the best job in the ACC this year with their signing class, and they made a very interesting point on signing day that they got all their top targets and didn't have to really recruit anybody else outside of that. That's always a great goal.
That is a good goal, isn't it? When you can just get who you want, then it makes things a lot easier. That's the final play of the ball game. Incomplete pass, and Team USA has pitched the shutout this afternoon, beating Team Canada 35-0. As the trophies are heading to midfield, we'll take a brief timeout, come back, wrap things up from Maverick Stadium in Arlington.
This is where games are played, where friendships are forged, where kids come to have fun and character takes shape. This is where coaches teach fundamentals, where respect is both learned and earned, where entire communities come together, where the game happens once a week, but the lessons learned last a lifetime. This is where the name on the front of the jersey matters more than the one on the back, where champions are made in the fourth quarter, and memories last long after the clock reaches zero. This is USA football.
35-0, the final score. Team USA wins over Team Canada in the Under-19 championship. of the International Bowl 2015. Our MVPs of today's ball game for Team USA, safety Prentice McKinney, Oklahoma bound, 2 interceptions, one of them a pick six. Logan Fisher, the running back for Team Canada, was the Canadian MVP. But let's take a look at that interception for Prentice McKinney, Greg, and you just talk about the talent that this young man has. He not only makes the catch, but takes it a distance to the end zone.
Had a lot of schools really chasing him, and I think that this play kind of signifies what he's bringing to the table. He's been a ball hawk for South Oak Cliff and has a high level of athleticism, and you could see that he was around the football, but then had the speed and the agility to catch this in, avoiding a couple of tackles en route to the end zone.
Picked up a couple of nice blocks downfield as well. And Prentice McKinney, our defensive star of this game, the MVP for Team USA, with the pick six and 2 interceptions on the afternoon. Look at a couple of the other highlights here. This was Ryan Boyle, the first touchdown of the game, as he scrambled, found Devontae Strickland in the end zone to put Team USA on the board first.
And, of course, Daniel Fisher is going to win the MVP for Team Canada, but I think that you also have to give a shout-out to Daniel Nesbitt, the linebacker.
Yeah, Nesbitt had a terrific game. Here's Riley Neal throwing one to Jalen Guyton, and Guyton, the Allen Eagle, who played for his head coach, Tom Westerberg, for the final time today, the Allen Eagles head coach. He represented his team and his coach well with that catch and another catch for a touchdown.
Definitely, and I think that was a great way to end his career with Westerberg.
Absolutely. So our final score, 35-0, Team USA winning over Team Canada this afternoon. Thanks to everyone that put together this outstanding event. Thanks to our producer, Tom Montefiletto. And for Greg Powers, I'm Doug Anderson saying so long from Arlington.
Thank you for your attendance today.